it'll only sound as and when I press the horn buttons. Seats look amazing though. These are extremely hard to get hold of, and this is the original screen. Okay then guys, today we are on the 86. As I mentioned in the previous video, there are a couple of little bits and pieces that I've wanted to do for some time now. But also I have my good friend Connor coming down, who is a detailer. And I've asked him to do the interior of the 86. Now, as much as it's extremely clean for a 41-year-old interior, I know that what he can do will really bring out all of the dirt and dust and God knows what that has been built up over those years. So I'm really interested to see the results. So let's pull back the cover. He might have enough room to do it inside the unit, but if not, I'm going to make sure that the air ride has some air in it. So yeah, we might be able to move it and we'll pull it outside, because I'm hoping to actually remove the seats so we can get a really, really good job done on this interior. So yeah, he should be here very soon and we will crack on with that first. So this is a quick before. It's not the greatest because it is inside, so the light is poor. But you can see the dirt built into the carpet, and these seats, I've only ever really given these a good hoover. But I mean, I'm really interested to see the colour of these, especially the lighter colour, because it is clean, as I said. But I reckon a lot of dirt's going to come out of this. So yeah, quick look of how it is now, and then we'll see it afterwards. But I'm definitely going to remove these seats because I'd like the carpet underneath, even though you don't see it. I'd like the whole of the carpet cleaned, and also it does allow better access to the rear seat. Now I'm so glad that I used some copper grease on these bolts, because I bought these black bolts because they look more like the OEM, because they had just random bolts in holding the seats on when I bought the car. But yeah, it shows the importance of copper slipping everything, because these come out so easy. Whereas I've had issues before because rust gets in from underneath the car into the mounting points. But they came out with absolute ease. So yeah, I'm glad I did that. But yeah, that is all 4 bolts of the driver's seat removed. So we'll pull this out now. So that is both seats removed, and as much as this car isn't used that often, I'm glad I removed them, because you can clearly see here the dirt that yeah, that gets in underneath. So that should give Connor as much access needed. I will now remove all these bits and pieces from the rear, and he now has access to the whole car, so he shouldn't have to get it outside. Because he did say if we can do it on the inside, he is happy to do so. So, all prepped and ready for Connor. So whilst we wait for Connor to arrive, I have bought some new Bosch wiper blades. It's been a couple of years since I've replaced these, and to be fair, I never drive this in the rain or in the wet, so I don't really ever use the wipers. But I know that they're sort of just cheapy ones, and these were a bargain. So yeah, it's a 2-second job, so let's get these on. Okay, let's start with the driver's side. Now I know these are going to be a little bit stiff to remove. It's a little prong underneath that you pull in and then you pull down, but this can be a 2-handed job. So I'll put the camera down whilst I remove that. But a little suggestion, I just fold over a thick cloth and make sure that where the end of the wiper is going to hit the glass, I always put that there. I'll never want to risk me wanting to take a wiper off and then that arm decides to let go and then I crack the windscreen. These are extremely hard to get hold of, and this is the original screen. And other than a few very, very light scratches because of the wipers, funny enough, one of the reasons I want to change them, it is really clean, and it is the blue tinted glass which originally came with this car. So yeah, I always put a little bit of a rag here, just as a precaution. So yeah, let me whip this one off quickly. Just to make sure, we'll lay that down like that. Yeah, there's no brand on this whatsoever. I can't even remember where I got these from. All I know is that they are cheap and I want to replace with a decent brand, which Bosch always has produced some good wiper blades. So yeah, they're both 18s. I've always ran I think that's a 19 and a 17. So yeah, it's recommended from manufacturer that they were both 18, which makes sense. So yeah, that is what I've purchased. So yeah, let's get this on. It's just the reverse of removal. We just slide it over this hook here. And I can tell you already that how soft the blades are compared to the one I've just removed is a big difference. So yeah, really happy with that. So that is the driver's one done, and I'll do exactly the same on the passenger side. And just like that, we are done, and Connor has just turned up. So we can get on and do this interior. Oh god, you can see it.
That one's squirting if I go like that. A bit more water.
Yeah, yeah.
Used car deals guaranteed. See website for details.
That was the dirty one, wasn't it? Coming out good? Yeah, you can see, like, I don't know why that one's dirty, to be fair, compared, because like I said, I don't have people in the back, but oh yeah, you can see, can't you? That's how it should look as well, you know, like the ribs there?
Yeah.
That's how the original mats used to look.
In the back, these ones.
Say again?
In the back ones.
Yeah, they're the real ones, yeah. Dry this one off.
Download the app now.
She's a minter.
No, they will know.
They're gonna know. Door cards come out well, isn't it?
Yeah, it went really well.
I like that.
Alright, so get them scrub pads, mate. They're a fucking lifesaver.
Yeah, I'll have a look at one of
They're
those.
so good.
But I appreciate that, mate.
It's alright. Half the time it's just your kit, you know? You got good kit, you can make it look so much easier.
Seats look amazing though.
They look good, yeah?
Yeah, so much cleaner, 100%.
Perfect. Just see if there's any little spots over the next few days.
Yeah, I will do. I'll pop back. No, she is mint. Yeah, I'll put her up, mate. We'll get some pictures for you. So guys, it is the following day, and as you can see, it is dark already, unfortunately. I was hoping to get the car out into some daylight and show you just how clean this interior now looks, because it is pristine. Now, for a 41-year-old interior, it is in incredible condition, but now it smells and looks fantastic. So thank you so much, Connor. I really do appreciate it. Now, Connor's done everything from the floor mats to the boot mat, the dash cover, the seats, as you can see, were removed to make sure we can get to the carpet and clean it as best as we could. The rear bench, the door cards, literally everything. It is immaculate. So, with that, I do apologise for the possible lack of footage with regards of what was carried out. I didn't pick up the camera that much because admittedly we had a lot to catch up on and we had a lot of laughs and a lot of banter. So yeah, he was here for a good 6 hours and it was so good to see him. So yeah, I will get it out at some point and I will show you guys just how clean it is, but honestly, it is fantastic. With that, as you saw earlier, I replaced the wiper blades. They were long overdue, but there's also another job which I've wanted to do for some time, and it's with regards to the horn. Now, I run an Intel Valeting formal steering wheel, and it has 3 individual horns. That's connected by one wire, which earths off the centre locking nut. And for some reason, a good few months ago, I took this for a drive, and I was through my local town, and every time I was steering, the horn would sound, and safe to say, it was a little bit embarrassing, and I think I scared a few people. So yeah, I disconnected that wire, but now I need to refit it. And hopefully this time, it'll only sound as and when I press the horn buttons. So that is going to be the next job. So first of all, what we need to do to get to this wire is remove this cover. And it's held on with 3 tiny little flat-headed screws. So yeah, little screwdriver. I will remove them. I don't know if I can maybe catch one just here. There you go, there's one of them. So yeah, we just undo 3 of these, one there, one the other side, and one down the bottom. And yeah, we can then access the wires to then hopefully see if we can get it secured so it can work properly. And these are the 3 horn buttons here. But yeah, I was steering and yeah, it was going off and it was loud. So yeah, let me whip this off. Okay guys, so these are the wires, as you can see, disconnected. So we've got another male and female in there, and we have a male and female here. So obviously the opposites will attach to each other. You can clearly see here the wires that lead off each individual horn that then lead into one. So these are the 2 that I disconnected, and I think the fault is just down in there, is that this wire, which is with this spade connector, I don't think is attached to the column well enough. So what I'm going to have to do is remove the nut, make sure enough of the wire is connected and it's getting a good connection, and then hopefully crimp that down with the nut once again. And I think that should hopefully fix the issue. So yeah, let me have a little play around, see what I can do, and yeah, I'll get back to you. Okay guys, so I've had a little play about, and strangely, the wire was wrapped around the column perfectly well enough. So yeah, but sure, checked all the wires themselves and they seem all good. And I have a horn, and if I steer, if I was doing this last time, I mean, to be fair, I will have to get this out on the road and give it a proper test. And what I will do this time is I'll leave the cover off, so just as I'm driving, in case it decides to go off and sound, I can just quickly pull this apart, and then that'll shut the horn off. But at the moment, there's absolutely no way that that's wanting to sound. So a bit of an unusual one, to be fair. It's going to be one that I think I'm just going to have to, as I said, go out on the road, take it for a drive, and yeah, and just maybe have a wiggle and a play and see if it makes any difference, because genuinely I can't seem to see anything obvious that would allow the horn to want it set itself off. So yeah, strange one, but it seems to be working better than it did. So yeah, I'll leave it at that for now. As I said, I'll leave this off, and when I can, take it out for a drive, and yeah, hopefully all is good, and that's another job ticked off the list. So the final job I've been wanting to do is to do with the radio. Now, I installed this radio. It's a genuine Toyota unit that I was given by a friend of mine, Isaac, many years ago, and it's always been fine. But lately, what it seems to want to do is just go quiet. It doesn't switch off. It's still got power going to it, but it will just go silent. And I didn't know at the time if it was just bad signal for the radio. But then later found out that if you give it a bit of a tap on the side panel, it'd kick back in again. So my assumption is that where it earths to the bracket, it's just got a bit of a dodgy connection. So what I'm going to do is whip off the little panel and yeah, just double check it, because I know that I earthed it at that side. And it seems very coincidental that when you give it a tap, it kind of comes back into life. So yeah, I'll just make sure that that connection is all good. Secure it. I might clean up the bracket, because the brackets do tend to have a little bit of surface rust now and again. I'm sure mine's actually really clean, but you never know. So yeah, I'm going to whip that off. It's a couple of screws the panel can pull off, and then we'll have clear access to the cable. So yeah, I'll get on and I'll remove this panel. So this is the panel in question. As you can see here, there's a screw there and a screw there, and it's exactly the same the other side. So I'll just quickly remove these, and this panel then slides out this way, and then we can access the bracket. Easy as that to get that out of the way. Yeah, as I thought. So there's a little bit of surface rust on this bracket. As I mentioned, it seems to be quite common. So there is, if you can just see, let me grab the light. You can just see there, that is the earth. And when you give the panel a bit of a tap, it seems to kick the radio back in. So I can only assume that it might be the dodgy earth, but it is pretty rigid. So it could be that one there. So yeah, I'll double check them. I'll make sure that they're all labelled at the back there, because I had to rewire the whole loom for this Toyota unit. So I will just double check all of the wires, and I suppose I won't really be able to test it until I'm out in the car again, listening to the radio to see if it cuts out again. But for now, all I can do is check all the connections, make sure they're secure and there's nothing broken. And then, yeah, as mentioned, when I'm next out, give it a test, and hopefully all is good. But that is obviously something that I can't show you guys on this video. That's something that I'm going to have to do when I'm next out in the car, as mentioned. Take it for a drive, and hopefully the radio doesn't cut out. But yeah, with that, that's a couple of little jobs that I wanted to do. And yeah, once again, a massive thank you to Connor. because that interior honestly is absolutely mint, guys, and I will get it out into some daylight and I'll show you a good detailed look around the car. And yeah, I'll show you this interior because I'm really, really happy with it. But with that, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one.